So I want to show you a quick feature that will be helpful in completing today's assignment. And I also want to go through one of the Khan Academy questions that will help you complete that specific Khan Academy assignment. So let's first talk about the feature on Blackboard that will help you with today's assignment. I'm going to go to today's assignment. And I'm just going to use the space in the first question. For some of these problems, you'll have to write an exponential equation. If you're writing an exponential equation, you'll have to write the x variable as an exponent. Or if you plug into the x variable, you'll also have to write that number as an exponent. So I want to show you where the exponent button is. Now, the equation I type here is not related to question one. So it's not the answer to question one. I'm just going to make up an equation. Let's say your equation is 5 times 1.3 to the power of x. To write the x as an exponent, you can just use this button right here. It's called superscript, and notice it's showing a letter written in the exponent's place. And now my equation is in the correct notation. And if for some reason your letters continue to show up in the exponent's place and you want to turn the feature off, you can just click the button again and it will turn that feature off. So same situation, if you want to show that you're plugging a number in to the exponent's place, you can use that button to show that correct notation. Now for for this week's Khan Academy assignments, I want to do one problem from this specific assignment because this assignment is a little tricky. It's called Linear Models Word Problems. So let's just do this first problem that popped up. Let's do it together. It says Mariana tried to drink a slushie as fast as she could. She drank the slushie at a rate of 4.5 milliliters per second. After 17 seconds, 148.5 milliliters of slushie remains. How much slushie was originally in the cup? How long did it take Mariana to drink all of the slushie? In order to help you answer the questions that will come up in this activity, it will be very useful to create an equation. To create an equation will be difficult because you have a limited amount of information. You're given the repeating pattern, but you're not given the initial value. You're actually asked to find the initial value. So what you can do is you can use this data point that was given to you, and then you can use the pattern to find another data point and then enter those two data points into GeoGebra. So I'm going to open up GeoGebra. And remember that the website is geogebra.org/classic#spreadsheet. Now I'm going to enter this first data point. My input is time. My output is the amount of slushie that's remaining. So after 17 seconds, there's 148.5 milliliters of slushie remaining. 17 goes with 148.5. Then I can use the pattern that was given to me to determine how much slushie is remaining after 18 seconds. I was told the pattern is 4.5 milliliters per second. She's drinking this amount per second. That means that the amount that's remaining is decreasing. So what I'll have to do is subtract 148.5 minus 4.5. 148.5 minus 4.5. So at 18 seconds, there'll be 144 milliliters of slushie remaining. Then I can follow the steps to generate a linear equation. Here's my linear equation. Once I have my linear equation, I can see the starting value. My B value is 225. That's the answer to the first question because this first question is asking for the starting value. It's asking how much slushy was originally in the cup. This next question is asking how long did it take Mariana to drink all of the slushy? If I'm drinking all of the slushy, that means that I'll have 0 remaining. So my output, my y value, is going to be 0. So that you'll have to solve on your own. I'm just going to quickly do it now on my calculator. If you wanted to solve, I'm not going to show you how to do it algebraically, but you should already know how to. But when you solve that algebraically and then perform the steps, you'll have 50. So it'll take 50 seconds for that to happen. And if you want, you can also double check in GeoGebra. If you enter 50 as the output, as the input, the output will in fact be 0. So that will be the correct answer. You just have to be careful with the different questions that come up because you might not necessarily be asked for the initial value every single time. You might be asked for the rate. So the opposite might happen in which you're given the initial value, but you're not given the rate. Or you might be asked to find y instead of finding x. Like here, I had to find an input, an amount of time. I had to find an x value, but you might be asked to find a y value. So just pay attention, pay close attention to the words, and pay close attention to the information that it's asking for when you're completing this assignment.